Welcome. I'm Dawn Spiegelberg, a Heart Coherence coach, and this is the Live by Heart Today show. This is a show designed to help you navigate change, uncertainty, and the new world we found ourselves in. As we attempt to explain the current university, I'd like to add that we're touching on relatively complex subjects and presenting them in a very simplistic way. So you may be asking things like, what about string theory? Where does quantum phenomenon fit here? While we're limited in the time that we have together, there may be an opportunity in the future to cover such profound subject matter, but for now, we won't be going there. We're going to stay right here. Today, we are wrapping our minds around how a finite occurrence of hydrogen and helium in a moment of what scientists refer to as a Big Bang under very intense heat conditions could have occurred, and what may have been going on prior to that moment. This is akin to asking the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Or how did, in an infinite universe, and when we say infinite, we're talking about the one and only here, how did God at some point create finite things? How did the infinite become finite or create finite? Things that we can see, things that we touch, an earth that we walk on. I'm going to mention a theory that resonates with what I know, and in order for a being that is all-knowing, all-present, all-powerful to create what we see with our eyes today, one might imagine that there had to be something of, let's call it a removal of that being. So if everywhere is the God being, then there's no room for anything else. Does that make sense? So in order for something else to come into existence, the everythingness that was God had to make room for other things, had to restrict himself, limit his scope. Think about something like a great contraction, if you will, not unlike what's happening in our economy right now. If this did occur and God removed himself from inhabiting everywhere, then he would have to pull himself into himself, an act of immense withdrawal would explain what happened immediately after. Here's a simplified example that you can try yourself. So take a breath in and hold it. And while you're holding this breath, you begin to feel pressure building up. Your oxygen that you breathe in is going into your blood vessels, and your lungs are beginning to fill up with a certain amount of carbon dioxide. More pressure, more pressure, more pressure builds up until you can't hold it any longer and you have to exhale. That is kind of like what the Big Bang was. God contracted and so much pressure built up that releasing it created this immense heat, like a cosmic inhale followed by a cosmic exhale. And the biggest bang was produced that we know of in the history of everything. That's our show for today. It would mean so much to me if you'd go ahead and click like on this video and share it with someone who you think would benefit from its content. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any of these 5-minute minisodes of Heart that happen Monday through Friday at 4:44 Pacific time. Live and understand a great exhalation when you live by heart today.
And that concludes this portion of Live by Heart Today.
Thank you
for joining us. Have a happy always. View more episodes on our website.
We'll talk a little bit about science, a little bit about how our body works, a little bit about intuition, and we'll talk a lot about transformation.